Welcome to Technopark Toastmasters meeting number 37. I'm Prakash and will be the sergeant at AMS for today's meeting. Toastmasters International is a non-profit organization started by Ralph C. Smedley to promote public speaking and leadership skills. Let me quote the mission of a Toastmasters Club. We provide a supportive and positive learning environment in which members are empowered to improve their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. There are some ground rules which we need to follow. Let us not talk about sex, religion, and politics. Let us do not cross-talk, and let us put our noise-making devices in silent mode. With that, let me hand over the control back to our president, a seasoned Toastmaster, a general manager at Center. Over to you, Toastmaster Arathi.
Thank you, Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Prakash, for opening the meeting at the dot of 11:05. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm so happy to see a packed house today. Probably, Lakshmi, your charm has worked and people have come in to listen to the Toastmaster of the day. So let me declare the 37th meeting of Technopark Toastmasters open. Failures. How comfortable are we with failures? I'm sure if you're like me, you do not want to fail. You do not want to be in a position where you want to say sorry. You do not want to fail. And that is sometimes holding us back. But the change, if we were to bring in any change in our habit, in our personality, it should be get comfortable with failure. Be ready to acknowledge that you can fail, because only when you fail, when you open up your mind, can you learn new things. So get comfortable with failure and fail fast. As we say in our IT projects, fail fast, because it's cheaper when you fail early in the project rather than at the fag end of the project. So fail fast and learn fast. Get comfortable with failure. Be ready to experiment, and you will always have a safety net. And Toastmasters for you is a kind of safety net for your public speaking and leadership skills. Today, we will be having a series of activities today that reiterates the mission of Toastmasters. We provide a very supportive environment for everyone to practice their skills and become better day by day, one meeting at a time. So I encourage all of you to come and speak when you have an opportunity. As Toastmasters, when we are asked to speak, we should never turn down an opportunity to speak. So never attend a meeting where you have not shared your thoughts. Always make it a point to speak at some instance. And the guest, and we have lots of guests today. So if it's okay with the guests, if you can turn on your video and just say hello and your name and your company and how you came to know about Toastmasters in one line, that would be great. And we are so happy that you decided to join us. So let me ask Abhijit to unmute and introduce himself in a line or two.
Sure, thanks, Arathi. My name is Abhijit, and I work with Infosys. I'm into HR business partnering role with Infosys. So yeah, I found it in the website. I know Toastmasters, even in Infosys we had, but I think it's suspended currently. So earlier I always wanted to join. I think due to pandemic and work from home, there is more time to invest in. So I thought, why not explore?
All right, thank you. Abhijit, if you can leave your email ID in the chat box, we will connect with you on the next steps. Thank you so much for coming. Guest Krishna Kumar.
Hello all. I am new to Toastmasters. I heard about Toastmasters some time back. Let me introduce myself. I am Krishna Kumar, and right now in Bangalore. I work for Volvo IT as a senior solution architect. And yeah, it's always new experience when you meet people and share your ideas. And I got feedback from my sister as well as Julie that Toastmasters are very good. So that's the reason I thought of attending this meeting. And
so today you are here because of Julie.
Julie, yes.
Okay, great, Julie. Nice. I hope you have a nice time here.
Thank you.
Who's next? Guest and Toastmaster Reva from Assam. Is it possible for you to turn on your video?
I am really sorry. I'm working right now, so I won't be
problem.
able to turn on my video.
No problem.
But I have been associated with Toastmasters since the last year.
Mhm.
So I have heard it from my friends, like my seniors who were in school and colleges. So they were the ones who suggested me to go and improve my public speaking, as I were a very underconfident person, with low self-esteem, could not speak in front of strangers. So Toastmaster has really helped me to get out of my comfort zone. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Excellent. You spoke so well. So we can just imagine the transformation that Toastmasters has given you. Great to have you here. At the end, we would like to hear feedback from you on how different our club is from yours. Thank you, Reva.
Sure. Thank you.
Guest Arya, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm Arya, working in Alliance. I got this from my friend has suggested me. That's why I'm here. First time I'm attending this seminar. Why I'm not prepared to put on the video, and I'm having throat infection too.
No, okay.
Sorry
Take care.
that.
Yeah, take care. Glad that Arya, you have taken the first step. It's okay that you don't want to turn on your video. We honor that. Thank you for joining. There is an option to speak later on. If you're comfortable, you can pitch in. Otherwise, you can just listen in and come back later for another meeting. Nishi,
Yeah, sure, thank you.
Nishi, do you want to turn on your video and introduce yourself? All right. Guest Anne, you said if you're not comfortable coming on stage, then could you just put your details in the chat, and then so that everybody can know who you are. Thank you. So with that, we have a guest, Rajeshwari. Hi, Rajeshwari. Welcome back. Do you want to give a quick intro?
Hi, Arathi. Hi, everyone. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. All good.
Yeah. Introduce yourself in one line. I know you're repeating your visit.
Yeah. So my name is Rajeshwari, and I am working in Sunlight Business Solutions. And I'm a colleague of Arathi, and she inspired me to join. And I have attended 1 or 2 sessions earlier as well, but I wanted to join again. Then in between, I couldn't. So I am so happy that I could join today.
Yeah.
And on personal front, I am a certified yoga trainer as well, and all good. Yeah. Thanks,
Rajeshwari. Rajeshwari is someone who wants to join Toastmasters, but has some commitments right now, but I'm sure that she will join at least in the next cycle. Yeah. With that, with a full house, I'm so happy that it's going to be an exciting meeting. And today we have a very creative person as the Toastmaster of the day. You know, Toastmaster of the day is someone who runs the meeting like an MC, and someone who's very energetic today has volunteered to be a Toastmaster. In fact, she's playing this role for the first time, even though she has been active in and out of Toastmasters meeting. So we are so happy, Lakshmi Arun, to be a Toastmaster. She is a trainer and an HR professional working in IBS. But I would say her introduction is a very creative person, and that's how I associate her with anything that she does. So let's hear from Lakshmi. Over to you, and let's have a rocking meeting.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Arathi, for that beautiful introduction. You just made my day. All right. And wonderful meeting everybody here. And good morning to all the fellow Toastmasters once again, and to all the wonderful guests here, and hope you're soon going to become part of the Toastmasters. All right, let me just set the context. Let me introduce the theme to you. So I start off with a quick question, okay? Have you heard of what we call as a butterfly effect? Heard of butterfly effect? It points to how, yes, somebody has, Srija has, yes. So Srija, as you would agree, it points to the theory of how a butterfly's flapping wings in the Amazon rainforest can actually cause a hurricane in the United States. Shocking, surprising, chaotic, isn't it not? But this is all part of the chaos theory, a term that was coined by a mathematician and meteorologist, Edward Lorenz. And though there might be different debates around the butterfly effect and how correct it is, what I love about it is the fact that it points to one of the sharpest realities of life. How minute things or how seemingly insignificant decisions that we take in life often takes on monstrous dimensions, or it rather shapes our lives or even navigates the course of our life. Just akin to maybe the different choices that we make in life and how those decide what we metamorphose into. So let me share my story of the choices that I made in my life, right? So, those choices that sort of decides who I am today and how it became a testament to my mettle. All right. By the way, in between, mettle is a word of the day, and try to use that, throughout your conversation. Mettle means, as you would agree, it means spirit and resilience. All right. So going back to my story, I always, most of the platforms that I talk on, I usually talk about the wonderful childhood that I got, all right? Wonderful life that I still have, but then I keep talking about that wonderful and free childhood that I always have. Okay, as a small child in the kindergarten, when my friends preferred to stay at home after school, playing with their moms at home, all right? I made a choice. I would run to my mom's office. I would spend my time in the huge library next to her office. So that was a conscious choice that I made initially, which later on became a want. Okay, and here I am with this obsessive passion for the world of letters and a mind that loves anything creative, as Arathi was saying. While growing up, the string of choices that I made on my career was, of course, a direct offshoot of this initial choice that I'd made. And there I was writing for newspapers and magazines and studying Shakespeare and Chaucer and, of course, journalism. So nothing stood in the way of the choices that I made as I grew up and became a young woman. At the time when I still remember when I was 7, I remember how I made this conscious choice to fly to Delhi from Trivandrum to attend a Commonwealth Fellowship interview for funding my DPhil at Oxford. My choice to do, again, after that, my choice to do a second master's in human resources management as a mom to a 2-year-old while I was working full-time. I chose not to sleep at night and study with one hand holding my baby. The pride of being a university first rank holder was again a result of this choice that I made, right? It's an unparalleled pride that I still hold. We make right choices, we make wrong choices. An unhappy marriage is always unfortunate, right? That also is a result of one of the choices made. But then I chose to learn from it. I crossed that path too, gathering a huge bunch of life-changing lessons. But I always make the right choice. Those learnings always help me make the right choices, I believe. So walking out of unhappy situations and memories is also a choice that I made to keep myself happy and my family happy. And I'm proud of all the choices that I made. So I'm summing it all up here. I am what my choices have made. I've proudly basked in all the sunshine that all the right choices have given me. But more important, I feel, are the lessons that I learned from the brickbats that my wrong choices have sent flying at me. But that has shaped me into the strong woman I believe I am today, who knows how to make right choices. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters, and I'm sure each one of us would have so many stories on the choices we made in life at different stages. All right, so now on to the next segment. Let me now introduce the general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Aravind TU, a wonderful person, a very cheerful speaker. Toastmaster Aravind magically spreads a lot of positivity wherever he is. Okay, an HR professional who's worked with UST Global, IBS, and the Amrita School of Business. Aravind is now part of the learning and development team at EnvestNet. Welcome, Toastmaster Aravind, to introduce the tag team. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi. So before I get into that introduction, I must acknowledge at this point for that fabulous setting which you have done for this meeting. Your speech which you have made, very crisp, but you started with a bang, Lakshmi. Just wanted to acknowledge that upfront. Thank you. So good morning, all. So as a general evaluator, the purpose of a general evaluator is to evaluate everything that takes place throughout the meeting. During the meeting, we'll be taking notes on everything that happens and doesn't happen. We will evaluate each participant on the meeting program and look for good examples of preparation, organization, delivery, enthusiasm, observation, and performance of duties. At the end of meeting, we'll have a quick chat as well, in the form of a general observation and in terms of a general report. So to support me in this journey, we have the tag team. Tag team is the timer, the R counter, and the Grammarian team. So today, performing the timer role for us is our president, Toastmaster Arathi Rajeshwari. So to introduce Arathi to this group probably looks awkward, but for the benefit of the guest as well, I will give a very quick intro about Arathi. Right from my first interaction, Arathi is somebody who was come across as a very elegant, classy leader, which I'm sure most of us would have experienced. So she's currently working with Suntech, heading the industry products divisions out there. Arathi, over to you to give a very quick brief about the role which you're performing. Thank you.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Aravind. Who doesn't like to be welcomed so well to the meeting? Thank you so much for that. Today, my role is that of a timer. Toastmasters prides itself on focusing on timing. We all have messages to talk about, but the key point is that how do we deliver that message within the allocated time? And Toastmasters helps us practice our timing. So as a timer today, I will be keeping watch on the time that you take to speak today. And it's my duty to alert you when your time is up, and I will give you cues before you reach your time. For every allocated speech or segment, there is an allocated time. When we get into the extemporary speaking table topics, you can speak for 2 minutes. So I will be giving you cue cards: green at 1, yellow at 1.5, and red at 2. It is to tell you that at 2 you need to wind up, and at yellow it means that your time is nearly reaching, and green is when you have covered the minimum time. So my green background looks like this. My yellow background looks like this, and my red looks like this. And please watch out for me when you're speaking. I will be letting you know how much time. At the end, I will be back with my timer's report to let you know if you fared well within the time allocated. Thank you, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arathi. So helping us today with the R counter role is Toastmaster Julie. Toastmaster Julie is a very seasoned professional in the IT industry. So one of the beauty this Toastmasters platform provides to each and every one of us is about the varied level of expertise and experience which it brings to the table. So why am I saying this? Julie is a professional who has proven her craft mainly in the CSM area, Scrum Master, project management. So if any one of us has got a question in that area, we have a right person in our team who can help us with that. She was a very long timer with IBS for around close to 19 years, and she is currently working with Mindtree in a project management role. Toastmaster Julie, over to you to give a quick introduction and brief about the role which you are going to perform. Thank you.
Greetings, Toastmaster Aravind, fellow Toastmasters, and the wonderful guests we have today. So the most common problem we face when we make or when we speak is we try to fill some words called filler words or crutch words. So my duty or my role today would be to make note of such words. For example, these are the words that we generally try to fill in. So I will make observations regarding this. So it's not only about the crutch words, I would also try to observe if there are any overused words while we speak. So hoping these observations will make us a better speaker. At the end of the meeting, I would be back with the R counter report. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Julie. Now, for the grammarian role, who else other than Toastmaster Radhika? Why Toastmaster Radhika? She is a very seasoned professional, a proven HR leader. I'm sure you know, which again is one of the key aspects with the Toastmaster platform, helps all of us to leverage and help each other to grow, the element of leadership skills. Radhika was with Alliance for a long time, and she's now currently working with a company named Mettle, based out of Hyderabad. Radhika gives predominant importance and she follows the ideas of DI, diversity, equity, inclusion, as well as along with the idea of sustainability. So Radhika, over to you to help the group to give a quick overview about the role which you are going to perform. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aravind and fellow guests. This is a very, very beautiful morning, and as a grammarian, it's my responsibility to explore the words, usages, and all the conversations that we are doing today. So I will be paying very close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to your language usage, and take note of any misuse in English language. Also, any outstanding usage, quotes and sayings and thoughts. So it will be inspiring to listen to that and learn from everyone. So today, my duty is to introduce the word of the day as well. The word is aligned to the theme of the day. It is mettle. Show me a mettle. A person's ability to cope with the difficulties, the spirit, the grit, the resilience. That is a word. And then one example would be, this team showed their true mettle in the second half of the meeting when we have the table topics on. So that could be an usage. And so each of you in your speech is encouraged to use the word of the day. And I'll give you a report, the word of the day report, where I will list down whoever has used it. I will also include all the good usages and the misuses of the language at the end of the session when I'm providing the report for you. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Aravind.
Thank you, Toastmaster Radhika. So Toastmaster Lakshmi, over to you to take forward for the next steps. And I sincerely hope and wish let each one of us be able to show our mettle, as well as in the process help each one of us to further enhance the mettle which is there in each and every individual in this meeting. Toastmaster Lakshmi, over to you, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aravind. So now we get into the most awaited segment, the prepared speeches. All right, we have two speakers for the day and two evaluators. So let me introduce you to the first evaluator and the first speaker. So evaluator one is Toastmaster Prakash, the strong presence and the friendly face of Technopark Toastmasters. That's how I see Prakash. Prakash is a technology consultant at Tata Elxsi who loves traveling, reading, and above all, good designs. So here it is, Toastmaster Prakash, for setting down the rules of the speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Toastmaster Reena is taking her first step with an icebreaker speech, which is ideally a prepared speech for 4 to 6 minutes. The purpose of the speech is to introduce the speaker to the club and learn the basic structuring of a speech. My role as evaluator is to listen and provide feedback based on the evaluation criteria. It is a great opportunity for me to hone my listening skills as well. Thanks for the opportunity. Looking forward to hearing the speech of Toastmaster Reena. All the very best to you. Over to you, Toastmaster Lakshmi.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Prakash. So now over to the star of the first, the first speaker of the day, Toastmaster Reena Vivekanandan. What do I say about Reena? An amazing person, a seasoned speaker, an inspiring leader, a strong woman, and above all, a genuine human being. Reena is all these descriptions and much more rolled in a one, beautifully rolled in a one. I've known Reena since a long time, since I was in Technopark, and I welcomed Reena to do her first icebreaker speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Reena. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi. A woman in her 20s was waiting anxiously to board the flight at Heathrow Airport. She was excited, maybe a wee bit nervous. She was embarking on a journey into the unknown, leaving behind a lucrative job, a very comfortable and carefree life. Excuse me. She was in love and nothing could stop her from getting married to her childhood sweetheart. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. Yes, that starry-eyed person at Heathrow Airport was me. I'm Reena Vivekanandan. I work with people in corporations and educational institutions to enhance the quality of their life. I was born and brought up in Singapore and educated in Singapore and India, and I worked briefly in the UK. Today, I am here to share the journey of my coming of age through 4 stages: marriage, motherhood, career, and liberation. Talking about marriage, the first 3 years were so blissful, best days of my life. I wanted to be a homemaker, but my husband insisted that I work, as an idle mind is a devil's workshop. So very reluctantly, I started working. However, very soon I was thoroughly enjoying my work and even got promoted. All joy, love, and laughter, and ignorance. During this time, I also became a mother of 2 beautiful boys and started working as a guest lecturer in All Saints College to spend time with my little ones. Motherhood was so rewarding. It showed me facets of my nature that I did not know existed. I understood the meaning of selflessness. However, alongside these overflowing maternal emotions, restlessness crept in. It dawned on me that adjusting and accommodating had started to take its toll on me. The rose-tinted glasses just shattered one day. Cultural conditioning and my core were at odds with one another. I felt suffocated, isolated, and angry, pretending to be somebody that I was not. Then came this opportunity to work in Technopark. I remember asking my husband, "Njan pokkote, ee joli ekki pokkote. Can I take up the offer?" And he very smugly replied, "Pokkolu, pokkolu pinnenda. But go, make sure the kids study well and they grow up to be good human beings." So I sat down for a discussion with my 8 and 5-year-old sons. The older one asked, "Amma, what's the difference between going to All Saints College and Technopark?" And I told them, "Now we go to Ambrosia once a month. You can make it twice or thrice a month." The boys readily agreed to study well and be good human beings. At that time, it did not occur to me to ask, what will you be doing to help the boys in their studies? Or what role will you be playing in their character formation? And I was also unaware that it is my decision to take a call on whether I needed to take up that offer. Little did I then realize that I was venturing into the most important and transformational journey of my life. The foray into Technopark was quite interesting. After a couple of years, my company signed a joint venture agreement with a US-based company, and I was vested with the responsibility to run the new company. This provided the opportunity to learn, interact, and engage with many people and a global workforce. I also started realizing that my growth and success were not appreciated at home. Every time I got a hike or a promotion, the response was, "You only got this hike for the amount of work you do?" Or, "Oh, they made you managing director as there was no one else." That was a wake up call, and I told him, there were plenty of people out there, and I got this role because I'm excellent at what I do and my clients love me. My team and I grew that company from 13 employees to 1,800 across Kerala and Tamil Nadu. And then I moved on to become the founder of a couple of startups. I was and am a huge advocate of gender sensitization. Initially, I was passionate about empowering women and was a founding president of EVIT. I also headed Kerala and Southern India as a chairperson of Confederation of Indian Industry, Indian Women Network. And then it dawned on me that women empowerment journey has to be in tandem with educating the men as well. Gender equality is only possible if men are aware and sensitized on how women are evolving. I hear people say, he is a male, right? So it is natural for him to be stubborn and quick-tempered. But what about emotions like fear, love, loneliness, anxiety? I taught my boys it is okay to ask for help, okay to be wrong, okay to apologize, and it is fine to be kind and compassionate and be vulnerable. Now, I work feverishly with institutions and corporations to remove stereotypes like man of the house, men don't cry, be a man, oh, men are like that, boys will be boys. After 20 years, I have decided to focus on Toastmasters. I have learned that I have to unlearn and relearn, and that learning is lifelong. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rina, for that wonderful segment of your life that you shared, the story that inspires. Again, thanks again. And now we get into the second segment, speech 2 and the evaluator 2 and the speaker 2. So let me first introduce the evaluator, the second speech evaluator, Toastmaster Srija Shashivaran, a very cheerful and charming personality. Srija joined Toastmasters movement in 2016, having taken up many important roles in the Toastmaster journey. She was the immediate area director for this division. She's a public speaking enthusiast and evidently also the international speech contest second runner-up for District 121. So welcome, Srija, over to you.
Wow, Lakshmi, can you introduce me every time? Boost up my morale. All right, a very good morning. And yes, it is a good morning. A very good morning to all of you and to my speaker in particular. A year back, I attended a special program by EVIT. And one of the first exercises they did was to conduct a test, which made me realize what type of leader I am. Now, when the results came, the amazing thing is I understood why I do certain things the way I do it. I had no clue that what type of leader I am, or I didn't even know that there is something like different types of leader. Now, once I understood why I do the things the way I do it, it was very easy for me to shift my style according to the people around me, to understand the way and the reason why I'm taking certain decision, and to go ahead smoothly with my leadership style. Today, Toastmaster Manu is attempting his project 1 in level 2 of strategic relationship, where he is going to go ahead and dwell and find out what type of leadership skills or what type of leadership style is his predominant style. Trust me, Manu, this is something which is very important for you because it makes your life easier. Now, the project objective is very simple. You need to present a speech, which could be either humorous or an informational or any style that you would like to. You need to deliver a well-organized speech about some aspect of leadership style. Now, that is your choice. You may select about your own leadership style, or you can talk about the leadership style in general. But I do hope that when you were going through this particular project, you were able to identify your primary leadership style. I've got a very unique title that is given to me. We are talking about leadership style, but his title is, Are Leaders Needed? Pretty intriguing, isn't it? I hand it over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, and all the best for the Speaker of the Day.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Srija Shashidharan, and introducing Speaker 2, Toastmaster Manu Solomon, a wonderful person, a proactive Toastmaster, and a person we can always count on for any help. At least that's been my first impression of Manu. Manu is a senior manager with Infoblogs and has been there for 8 years now. We welcome Manu, as Srija was saying, we welcome you for your level 2 speech for the Pathway Strategic Relationship. The topic of Manu's speech is very interesting. Leaders, who needs them anyway? Over to you, Toastmaster Manu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi. What a wonderful Saturday morning it is, right? And I'm sure that nobody wants to talk about work. But let me take you to a different type of workplace. Now, this workplace does not have any leaders, no managers, no team leads, no project managers, nothing. Just employees doing their work, all the freedom that they have, nobody to pressurize them, micromanage them. What an awesome place, right? Now everybody wants to work on a Saturday. But if you go back to the same workplace, let's say a couple of days or even after a week, we all know that this place is going to be doomed. Now suddenly we need leaders there to bring this place back to the original place, the thing, right? I mean, there are lots and lots of qualities that leaders have, and that makes it essential. Whether it's a country or an organization or even a family, we all need a leader. But based on my experience, I try to follow 3 certain qualities, and in short, I call it as DHS, and I'll come to that later. But can anyone guess what DHS means? What is the full form of DHS? Okay. So I'll come to that. Now, let me go through each of these qualities. I was fortunate to have a great leader in my life. Whenever he gives me a project or a task or a thing he wants me to do, he would let me know what his vision is or what he is trying to get end of the day. But he would let me run with it, right? Choose my own path. So that's an important leadership lesson that I learned from that leader. There is a saying, good leaders give directions, but great leaders give direction. So there is a difference between direction and directions, not just the S, right? Direction is the destination that you want to reach, but directions is the path that you take to reach that particular destination. Great leaders will give the destination, but will choose the employees or the people below them to choose their path to reach that particular destination. And that's a very important lesson that I learned. So one suggestion is, like, I mean, if you are a leader, give them a context or what you want from that activity or that task, but let them run with it and always be available for questions from them so that they don't go in the wrong direction. And that brings me to the second quality. Most of you might not have heard about a leader called Darwin E. Smith. He was the CEO of Kimberly-Clark. And when he joined as a CEO, Kimberly-Clark was in a very, very bad state. The stocks were down, the company was in a poor state. And added to that, Darwin was a very shy person. He did not like attention. And even when he was promoted to the CEO role, a director told him directly that you don't have the qualities to become the CEO. but he remained CEO for 20 long years. And in those 20 years, he transformed Kimberly-Clark into a dynamic and a very big company. With that, I bring the second quality that I have in my life: humility and will. Humble and willful leaders are aware of their strengths and weaknesses. They lead to transform, but not to dominate. In this case of Darwin, he was a very humble, down-to-earth person. But an added advantage that he had a mettle, a strong will to succeed. So together with this humbleness and this strong will, he was able to transform this company to a successful company. Now, coming to the third quality that I always keep and I'm trying to keep in my life is self-discipline. As a leader, if you don't have a self-discipline, you cannot expect that from your employees or anybody underneath, right? A lesson that I learned from my life and also from my leader is it's always good to have a tracker. One of my leaders, he always used to have a notepad with him. Any meeting that he goes, he used to have this notepad, write things down, and he always tried to convert those notes into action items. And when I asked him one day, he said, I want to do that because I want to ensure that I don't lose track of these action items. And that's an important lesson that I learned. I don't keep a paper notepad like him, but I try to keep the electronic versions of notepads like spreadsheets, smart sheets, and also the OneNote. That's how I try to bring discipline into my professional life. Now, coming back to the question that I asked in the beginning, do we really need leaders? Yes, absolutely, we need leaders because we want them to show us the direction, to show us humility, and also bring in the discipline that we want in our lives and in office or even in the country as such, right? I'll end this with a quote from the 6th president of US, John Quincy Adams. If your actions inspires others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manu. That was a wonderful speech that you just made. So now we are on to the next exciting segment, which is table topics. For which, let me introduce the table topics master for the day. We have Toastmaster Sruthy. Sruthy, a stellar speaker. What do I say about her? A great speaker and a great writer. Sruthy is a Vice President Education of Technopark Toastmasters. Here you have, smiling on the screen, a person who believes that all good things in life happens the moment you step out of your comfort zone. Welcome, Sruthy, and I'm certain you would, with your cheer and charm and creative prowess, have a table topic segment that we'll all remember for a long time now. Over to you, Sruthy.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, for that wonderful introduction. What a wonderful theme we have for the day. The choices we make define us. A choice is a chance to change. The 3 C's that has helped me to mettle through the roller coaster ride of life. Fellow Toastmasters, dear friends, welcome you all to the second segment of this session, Table Topics. This is a long-standing tradition from Toastmasters International. This segment targets to improve our ability to organize our thoughts in a disciplined manner and respond to an impromptu question or topic. The time limit we have is 1 to 2 minutes. I have a couple of topics that is aligned with the theme of the day, that is the choices we make. I am looking for a few volunteers. I request each and everyone here to make a good choice, that is to participate. Whoever is ready can raise their hands. Please raise your hand so that I can go ahead with the first topic. Anybody interested? Nobody? Oh, come on. 6 topics, very simple ones. Aha, our grammarian Radhika has raised her hand.
Absolutely.
But is there anyone else before her? No. People are scared because Radhika raised her hand. Okay. Radhika, if you're ready, let me share my screen for the first topic. Give me a moment. And here comes the topic for our grammarian. Okay. I hope my screen is visible. Toastmaster Radhika, given a choice to redo your life, what will you change? Given a choice to redo your life, what will you change? Toastmaster Radhika, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmasters Sruthy and fellow Toastmasters. Good afternoon once again. We are 10 minutes into the afternoon, but I think it is time to wish you a good afternoon ahead. The topic for me is what you would redo if you are given a chance. Tough question, actually. When I'm looking back and looking at my life, and definitely I'm at the right age to do that, nostalgic overview of what has happened in the last 50 plus years. So what would I redo in my life? I never thought that my topic will be this difficult because I wouldn't want to change even a bit of what has happened in my life. No regrets, only learnings. All those mandatarams I have done in life are huge learnings. And then definitely there were a lot of good things that happened. It was sandwiched. The life was sandwiched between the good times and the bad times. And then when you're saying the bad times, do you want to change it? Do you want to change any of those people who you met? Not really. All of them were angels visiting from the unknown to your house. Some brought you happiness, some brought you sorrow, some changed you forever, some inspired you, some led you on. So all those guests in your life are welcome. Please welcome them with open hands so your life gets enriched with all those experiences and they make you a better person to be every other day, a better version of yourself. Till death do us apart. Just be in touch with your better self and keep on improving yourself. Thank you so much.
What a splendid speech, Toastmaster Radhika. I almost had tears in my eyes. She just explained to us that we do make good choices, bad choices, better choices, best choices. But whatever we chose, have defined us. Looking for the second volunteer for the day, for the table topic session. Aha, I can see Rajeshri raised her hand. I do remember the last speech she did here. So yeah, let me take a moment to give you the topic. You all set to go, Rajeshri? I have a very simple topic, not tough. Let me share my screen again. And here you go. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So here you can pick a choice. Watching movie at home or going to a theater. Over to you, Rajeshri.
Am I audible?
You are.
Okay. Okay. So the question is whether I would like to watch a movie in a theater or at home. So it would come as a surprise. I prefer watching it at home because I do it in my own pace and at my own comfort zone. So if I go to a theater, it's like a fixed time. I have to be in the theater, then I have to watch the movie, and then I have to come back. I would rather do it in like parts. sometimes when I'm working, to be honest. So whenever I get time, I will rush to my TV, and then I will switch to Prime, Netflix, or whatever I prefer that day. According to my mood, I will choose something which suits my mood that day, and then that's how I watch it. So maybe some releases may not suit me, but always the streaming platforms work for me, because it helps me to choose according to my mood, my preferences, and then my time limits. If I want to take a break, I will just pause it, go back, and then come back. So that's how I prefer to do it. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Rajeshwari, for your brilliant attempt. I totally relate to you because I also prefer watching movie in the home at my own pace. I sometimes take a couple of days to watch a single movie, rewind and watch again the scenes that I love, and don't share the thoughts with people who love to watch horror movies. And there are some categories I totally hate. So I can just go with my own likes,
and even we can skip what we don't want to watch and like
exactly. Yeah, totally agree. Thank you, Rajeshwari, for that attempt. Looking for the next volunteer. Raised hands any, and we got our next speaker, Toastmaster Aravind. Let me share my screen for the next topic. Here you go, Toastmaster Aravind. I hope my screen is visible. The only wrong choice is choosing not to make one. Toastmaster Aravind. Toastmaster Aravind, the only wrong choice is choosing not to make one. Over to you.
Oh, that was tough. Thank you, Toastmaster Sruthy. Jack and Jill went up the hill. Why did they went up the hill? Why couldn't they just board a bus and probably try to go to a different place? But what was the beauty there? They tried to make a choice, right? This topic, now typically reminds me about that two technical words, something which we might have heard, something like an acrasia and something like an encrasia. So what is that typical difference? So acrasia is something wherein which you know that you have to do something, but you are not doing that. I'll repeat it once more. Acrasia is something where you know that. So for example, I have to get up early in the morning, but you are not doing that. What is encrasia? Ulta. You know that you shouldn't do something, but you are keeping on doing that. But still, the key commonality with this one is that element of doing. You're making that attempt to do something. But let us use our common sense. Let us use our intelligence. Which is better? Is it better to always keep on doing something, knowing that something is wrong? No. In that case, it is wise enough to better not to opt for something, better not to choose for something as well. Hey, what is he doing? At first chance, he's saying that you have to keep on attempting something, doing something, and within next 10 seconds, he is completely contradicting that. No, do something which is making sense to you. That is why we all are human beings. God has given us that element of intelligence, element of sense, wherein which we should always opt to do something which we like, which we persist or which we enjoy doing, and keep persisting in that so that we reach the path of excellence. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aravind, for sharing that glimpse today. He always can go on for any time limit, and I always have felt that 2 minutes is never enough for him. Last time he introduced us all to Ikigai, and this time he has introduced us to, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, acrasia and encrasia. Great. Thank you for sharing that, the thoughts today, Toastmaster Aravind. I can have never enough of your thoughts. Okay, do we have time for one more topic? Timer? We do. Okay, thank you. Looking for the next volunteer, and it's a very interesting topic, so please do choose it. Somebody, please. Anyone? Nobody? Can't see. Otherwise, I'm going to pick someone from the audience. Should I go for that? Now people are scared of me. Come on, it's a simple topic. Just one more and we will be done with the segment. No? No one wants to attempt? The guts. Anyone from the guts? Nobody wants to try. Believe me, it's a simple one, not a quote. It's an
Maybe
email.
Abhijit would want to try. Give it a try.
Yeah, Abhijit raised his hand.
Ah, yes.
Thank you so much, Abhijit. Let me share my screen. Okay. Here you go. Love marriage versus arranged marriage. Aravind, Abhijit. Abhijit, love marriage versus arranged marriage. You okay to go?
Yeah, sure.
Out to you.
If I could be excused, I have a technical glitch with my timing card. So Abhijit, your time will be 1.5 and 2 minutes. I'll probably put in chat. Somebody can please change the color. Sorry.
You okay with the arrangement, Abhijit?
Yeah, sure. Let me start. Yeah.
Okay. Over to you, Abhijit.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Sruthy, for the opportunity. I think the first speech I'm going to give to Toastmasters. Let me also see how it goes. So I think this is the common. I think there are only two options: either love marriage or arranged marriage, or there is a third option also which is there. Being partners or live-in, etc. I think these are the three options people prefer, and also maybe the fourth option is to stay as a single, right? So love marriage or arranged marriage, it depends on different situations. I won't say one is right or one is wrong. It depends on different situations. You can also love after having an arranged marriage, right? You might not know the person before marriage, not that much, but you can build on increasing the romance and love after marriage as well. The same can happen in love marriage, right? Love might decrease after marriage. So it depends more on how you build up the relationship between with your partner after marriage. So I won't say there's a single option of love marriage or arranged marriage which is better, but I would rather say it depends on how you build your relationship with your spouse. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Abhijit, and thank you for sharing your thoughts on love marriage versus arranged marriage. It's, I don't know, it has been a controversial subject since eternity, right? We still don't know. We have not figured it out. Sometimes people seem happy in love marriage. Sometimes people seems happy in arranged marriage. But it all depends on the individuals, how they take it forward, what all choices they make. If you have watched a speech, an international prepared speech on this, bent more, pull more, I request you all to watch it. I believe it was from Manu. I don't remember the speaker's name, but it was attempted by a Toastmaster, and it was really great. So Abhijit, I hope you will remember your first attempt in table topics without your knees shaking. That is what I did for my first table topics. So kudos to you for the first attempt. I hope you will keep on attending our sessions. And that wraps up our table topics for the day. I sincerely thank all the speakers for wonderfully attempting today on the theme, the choices we make. Thank you one and all, and that is the Table Topics Master signing off. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Sruthy, for that wonderful table topic segment. So now we get into the general evaluator's address. Welcome, Toastmaster Aravind, for that.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi, for that. Can you see this page, everybody? Can you see the notes which I have written here?
Absolutely, the pages are full.
No, this is basically a white black page. No, the point which I was trying to drive into was, I'm sure of course there are some specific items which we have written which I'll speak on, but one thing which we all should take a minute to pat our back is because the quality of the meeting has been so good that I'm sure each and every single audience in this meeting would have experienced in terms of the prepared features, in terms of how that entire meeting has been structured so far. So everything, it looks good. So let's take a minute to just to give a small pat on our back, and then we'll really move. So to start with the pre-works, One thing, since Sruthy have come into the role of VP Education, something which is happening is everything, the pre-work has been done in a very systematic and planned way. So I just wanted to acknowledge that is the meeting schedule, the role holders identification process, etc. So everything was done well, way ahead of the time as well. So kudos to you, Sruthy, and the entire team for that. To start with, how Lakshmi have started, we all, I've just acknowledged the short, crisp speech, which she have made in the start, which is really heart-touching, I would say, to the entire audience. Thank you, Lakshmi, for that. But overall, one feedback which I would have is your speech consistently has got I would say, a same mode of tone or a same note of speaking. Probably that is something which we can. I just want you to be aware about it. But of course, you can speak well. Everything in that front was fine. Arathi, in her address, was also kind of very encouraging. That is, she set the context beautifully. She have given enough space to introduce the guest, so that that was again something which was useful for every one of us in the audience to understand who all are our guests and the speakers in this entire meeting. And thanks to Reena and Julie for making this kind of a pan-India meeting. We have people from Assam, we have people from Bangalore. Probably, I think we should try to rope in somebody from Jharkhand as well now. Just the tag team, because I'm not taking too much of time in detail, because I would want the specific evaluators to give the precise evaluation about the prepared speeches. The speech from Reena, awesome. She's have started very slow, but again, at the end of her speech, that as it was clearly evident in the chat, which has been put by many participants, that speech had an impact, Reena. Thank you for taking time out and giving that speech to all of us. So was Manu, because since I remember Manu's ice-breaking speech at the start, and the level of progression which he is making is fabulous. And again, he's making consistent efforts in terms of taking up not only roles in terms of the speaking aspect, he has been involved in that magazine element as well. So thank you, Manu. Thank you for that consistent efforts which you are putting. Then Srija's as well as Prakash's evaluation part, in that context setting part, they both have done their part very clearly. Like, they have made it very clear, what is expected out of the respective speech from each of the audience. Maybe as a general evaluator, what I've observed is, maybe, I would just want to.
Aravind, if I may interrupt you, let's we actually do the speaker's evaluation first, and then you can wind up your general evaluation. You need to call the speaker evaluators and then the tag team, and then give your general evaluation report. I did not want to interrupt you in between, but maybe we can do the specifics now.
No problem. Thank you. So probably let me call upon TMOD Prakash. So before that, would you want me to call the tag team first?
It will be the speaker evaluation. So okay. Prakash and Srija.
Sure. So TMOD Prakash, over to you, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aravind. Let me get the timer to give the time of the speech.
Yes. Reena spoke for 6 minutes, so she's qualified. And let me also give you the time for the next speaker. Manu spoke for 5 minutes and 41 seconds, which is also qualified.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arathi. Toastmaster Reena, wow. Thank you for sharing this wonderful, inspirational speech. It was well structured. Actually, it was my privilege to evaluate your speech. And the thing that stood out the most was story. You literally took us to the airport along with you the moment you started the speech with that pleasant and soothing voice. I liked the way you structured the speech with the stages. It was easy to follow the story and helped us understand who you are. The choice of words and the language were also top-notch. I'm not getting into that. I observed you were using gestures more. They were dancing to the tunes of your words. but they were not visible at times. I wished for a moment you stood up and delivered that speech. However, it was not a big issue. To summarize, I was really impressed with your speech, the storytelling, the voice, the command over the language, the pace. Actually, I am in awe. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Aravind.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prakash. Obviously, Rina's short speech, I'm sure, it had its own impact, as I said earlier. Thank you, Rina, once again acknowledging that. Let me now request TMOD Srija to evaluate the second speech which we had. Over to you, TMOD Srija, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator, Toastmaster Aravind. Good afternoon to all of you and to my speaker in particular, Toastmaster Manu. Now, he started with the title, Are Leaders Needed? And we are talking about leadership style. So you see, there's a contradiction there, and it automatically intrigued my mind. During one of the SAW sessions that was conducted by the district, I realized the importance of keeping your title of the speech a little intriguing, because people will start thinking, really, are leaders necessary? But then he went on to the importance of having leaders in your life, how they have inspired you. So it was, if you look at it, he actually created a heading which made us thought, no, probably leaders are not needed. But then he showed us the importance of having a leader. So I'll say from strike one itself, Toastmaster Manu, a very good job done. I really appreciate you standing and talking. This is like my common feedback I give to everyone, that you must stand up and speak, because it changes your body language a lot. So it did, and congratulations for that. I love the fact that your speech was in modules. So even if now, you want, or you ask anyone, what is the summary of my speech? Everyone will say DHS, right? Because it was so simple to understand. I can carry the message that you were trying to give it to me. So that was a brilliant thing. I also tried to do it. Directions, humility, and self-discipline. So very well done on that. Now, let me tell you about a couple of things that you can use in order to improve your speech a little bit more. You started with a story. Imagine a place where there are no leaders, isn't it? So the starting was awesome. And then you said, after some days, it will be doomed. And then we need to bring in a leader. For me, I got a little bit confused. I was not able to understand very clearly the plot that you're trying to make. And once you put in the fact that, this is the reason why we need leaders, I was able to reconnect and understand. So my point to you is, probably you can make that story a little simpler, or probably you can expand it a little bit so that people understand that you're talking about this imaginary world where there is no leader. However, things are not working well, etc. So that is something that I want to tell you. My second feedback to you, and it has 3 parts to it, but second feedback is essentially same, which is about your time management. I know that you stopped your speech when the timer card was still green, so I know it is somewhere in that range. Arathi told me it's 5 minutes, 41 seconds. I'll tell you 3 instances where you could have used the time from your 5:41 to 7:30 a little bit more effectively. When you were talking, your word rate was higher. So I've actually written down a count to reduce the word count. But I realized that you were going faster, though you had time. So maybe you need to reduce, or you need to introduce more pauses in between. So that's the first thing. Second thing is more on emphasis. All right. So you had beautiful quotes in between. For example, good leaders give directions, great leaders give direction. Isn't it? So those are beautiful things, but you just say it once, probably it will not seep into our head. Maybe you could have given it an emphasis and you would have said, let me repeat that. Good leaders give directions. Great leader give direction. So you say something like that, emphasize on it, it gives a better feel. My red card is up. And the third thing is, you had a question for the audience. Can anyone guess what DHS is? You did not even give the time to the audience to ponder what is DHS. So it's all connected to your rate of speech. It's all connected there. You have time, make sure that you manage your time well, introduce a little bit of pauses and emphasis. But in the end, I have to say that, even your demeanor was so pleasant. I applaud your Mettle, because I know that you've been continuously doing speeches on speeches and you're doing it great. And I have seen the improvement from level 1 project 1 Manu to level 2 project 1 Manu, which is great. Keep up the great job and congratulations to you. Over to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, TMOD, Srija. I don't know, since morning I am somehow I was kicked out of this meeting for a couple of times purely because of the network issues, but I did a backup by joining the meeting through the phone as well. So I was listening to you as well. So thanks TMOD, Prakash and Srija for that feedback to the respective speakers. So before I hand over the baton to TMOD Lakshmi, I would just love to give a note about the speeches which was made by Radhika and Rajeshwari and Abhijit as well. So Radhika, nothing more to say. Your speech was very pleasant. The pace was all very actful. So it was a good attempt overall, Radhika. Thank you. Rajeshwari, again, you made that attempt, fabulous one. Again, one good thing is you were able to grab the audience attention with your pleasantness. That was very nice. One area in which I feel you can improve is probably through practice. Let us try to make practice as part of your journey. Then I'm sure you can benchmark your speaking or your speaking quality to the next level overall. Thank you. Abhijit, wonderful attempt for your first TMOD presentation. Within the time allotted, you have made that beautiful attempt, especially speaking about that very tough topic which you would have given me. The typical one where you have to make a difference, or you have to make that choosing between arranged marriage and love marriage, but you have also added one more third option. You always have the option to become a single as well. But very good attempt. So overall, in a nutshell, my observation is the meeting which we had today was of very high quality. So let us all ensure that we keep on continue doing this as we are moving up to the next meeting as well. Having said that, that gives us an opportunity to probably introspect among ourselves. How can we even make it better? One good thing which is happening is all of us are kind of very encouraging to the speakers, saying all positive notes, which is all really good. But do we need to have a mechanism wherein which we kind of give probably a bit more critical feedback in the sense, what I meant is in the right sense, so that we all can improve further, grow further. That because almost all of us in this audience level have reached probably, I would say, that level wherein which that encouragement part is something beyond which as a team we should think through in our next meeting, is one observation which I generally have. Just wanted to put that for a common discussion for the whole group as well. So thank you all.
You can now call the tag team for their report.
Sure. So
timer.
Part of the tag team, Arathi, over to you, please. Thank you. Again, thank you for helping me with the appropriate pitches in between as well. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, General Evaluator and team. I'm back with my timers report. I had some technical glitch in between and I panicked, and so I missed some of the timing. Let me share my screen so that I hope you can see my screen right now. TMOD Lakshmi used up only 3 minutes of her allotted 5 minutes. Speaker Reena had 6 minutes. She used up 6 minutes, and Speaker Manu had 7 minutes, of which he used up only 5 minutes 41. And the evaluator has covered nuances regarding that. Table topic speakers, Radhika spoke for your allocated time was 2 minutes. You spoke for 2 minutes. You have a grace period of 30 seconds, so you're well within time. Rajeshwari spoke for 1 minute 58. Abhijit for 1 minute. Aravind, that was when I had the goof up, but I think you spoke for 1 minute 50 seconds. Okay. Evaluators, both the evaluators went either underboard or overboard because Prakash spoke only for 54 seconds and Srija spoke for 4 minutes, 12 seconds, wherein your time should have been 3 minutes. So I hope you take that feedback. That's all from me, and back to you, General Evaluator.
May I now request for the R-counter report?
Thank you, General Evaluator. I think we all proved our mettle today with all the activities like preparation for the meeting, organizing the meeting, the prepared speeches, as well as bringing in additional members to make this meeting very, very full of participation. So earlier, I think I used to have a big notebook for noting down or marking the observations. Today it's just the sticky note. So this shows the improvement that we are all making in Toastmasters journey. So I would like to congratulate Reena. I was not able to find any filler words or any overused words in your speech. So kudos to you. Manu, just very, very few filler words, but you used a couple of words repeatedly, like that I have and he had. So other than that, you did a good job. And obviously, Lakshmi is the one who spoke the most today. So there would be a little bit of observations from for Lakshmi. I think, Lakshmi, your favorite words are and right. They were used quite often. So maybe that you can just be aware of in your next meetings. Otherwise, I think everyone used very, very limited our words or filler words. That's it from me, the R-counter.
Thank you, Toastmaster Julie. Toastmaster Radhika, over to you for the Grammarian report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aravind. And listening to the feedback from everyone, the speeches, I am invigorated and so excited about the day and then charged for the rest of the day. The Grammarian report and the usage of a word of the day. And it has come naturally. Aravind, Manu, Sruthy, Srija, Julie, everyone used the word of the day. And that didn't, that was a natural usage. There was nothing artificial about the usage. We didn't force fit it into the usage or the speech. That was the best part of it. It came naturally as you spoke. Thank you for that. And then there were a lot of good usages, especially from Lakshmi, Srita, Reena, Manu, Rajeshwari, Aravind. All of you used beautiful quotes and sayings like the butterfly effect, the metamorphosis, brickbats, furled at me, facets of personality, and when you existed, daunting yawn, and your action inspires others to do more, dream more. You are a leader, DHS, directions, humility, self-discipline. Brilliant effort by everyone. The vocabulary, my vocabulary got enriched by all these inputs, and I'm sure so are the feelings of other audience also. There were a couple of areas we can improve in terms of using the words, wrong usages and filler words, like I am using a lot of filler words when I'm speaking now. And so that I would definitely include in my personal note to everyone. Otherwise, it was a beautiful, a delightful meeting for a grammarian. Thank you so much. And back to you, Toastmaster Aravind.
Thank you, Toastmaster Radhika. So Toastmaster Lakshmi, over to you.
Thanks so much, Toastmaster Aravind. Thanks for all that evaluation from you and your team. Now, we've almost reached the end of the session, almost towards the end of the session. So I'll just take maybe a couple of minutes to quickly sum up and reinforce the theme of the day, post which I will pass it on to the president, Toastmaster Arathi. So now this was, what do I say? This was a stellar session. You know, stories, they literally flown from the hearts and marked by a lot of metal. The two speakers of the day, Toastmaster Reena and Toastmaster Manu, you've left a spectacular impact on each one of us with your prepared speeches. Please do know that. And the table topics segment brought in by Toastmaster Sruthy was as expected, Shruti, very exciting, and many of us getting that, you know, many of them getting that much awaited opportunity to speak with no preparation. So Toastmaster Radhika, Rajeshwari, Toastmaster Aravind, and Abhijit, wow is all that I can say. And you've shared such beautiful thoughts so seamlessly with no preparation, right? That's the key thing. And as a closing remark, reinforcing and reiterating the theme of the day, it all basically boils down to the choices that we make in life, each moment, every day, right? And if it's the right choice that we make sure that you celebrate it, make sure that you enjoy the fabulous results of it. And you make sure that you pat yourself on the back, make sure that you treat yourself to an ice cream that day when you know, and celebrate the joy of the right choices you've made. But if it's the other way around, what do? Right? You made a wrong choice and you come to know of it. That's even more greater, I would say, because you get this wonderful opportunity to learn something, right? A wrong choice that you made, and an opportunity to learn and never repeat it, right? So this is all what it is about. And like, you know, going back to how I started off today's meeting, like how those little butterflies, they flap their wings in the Amazon thickets, and that literally triggers off a tempest in the United States. Not sure if that's a right theory, though it's there, but then, you know, that points to the fact that it's all about the choices that we make in life. All right. So thank you once again to all the fellow Toastmasters and all the guests who have joined us today. Thanks for adding to that joy and the zeal of talking. Okay, now over to you, Toastmaster Arathi Rajeshwari, for the closing address. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Lakshmi, for your wonderful Toastmastering of the day. No one would believe it's your first attempt as a TMOD. Hats off to you, Lakshmi. You were super cool. And we would definitely need to see more of your TMOD skills coming up, because your topic selection was interesting. The way you expressed it was good, and the way you connected everything, transitioning was very good. Excellent, excellent. And team today, I think a lot of people proved their mettle today here. Lakshmi trying her first time at TMOD. Aravind took up the general evaluator role almost as a surprise because I forced him to do that. Speakers, Reena did her icebreaker. Manu went on to his second level. And guest who came in, Abhijit, your first trial at speaking, wonderfully done. I think it takes a great courage. It takes great courage to come and speak here, and you've done well. Rajeshwari, I know you like to speak and you're working on it. So I'm so glad that you stepped up and took the opportunity. And Sruthy, wonderful choice of topics so that all of them were comfortable doing it. And not to talk about the evaluators, Srija and Prakash, who also give great feedback to the speakers. I'm sure you will connect one-on-one with the speakers and give them direct feedback, because we were constrained by time. And to my dear guests who are here now, those of you who could not speak during the table topics, here is your chance to do your table topics. Why don't you come on screen and tell us how you felt about the meeting today, and what you feel about Toastmasters, and we would love to hear from you and have you back as guests, as members. So please share your feedback. Yeah, Krishna Kumar, you did not get a chance to speak. Maybe we can start with you.
Thank you, Arathi. It was really a good experience, and it was very knowledgeable people talking about specific topics. And I could see the encouragement also. It's not about only about the criticism or the feedback, but encouragement as well, which is very good. I really enjoyed the table topic session, to be honest. It's really fun to have such sessions. And it also shows how immediately you can come up with the answers, or how you can explain those topics in a pretty fast manner. So that I really liked it. Thank you. Thanks for inviting me, Julie.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Krishnamar, for sharing your feedback.
You're
right. The speakers here today spoke very well, but I would say the guests need not be overwhelmed, because if you ask the speakers themselves, they would have tried their speeches yesterday and today, and they know the difference, that how their speech was yesterday versus how it is today. They have done a lot of practice and they have improvised on the run. So Manu is doing his level 2. I'm sure when he did his level 1, he was a different kind of speaker, and now he's a different kind of speaker. So with practice, it evolves, and I'm sure these two speakers today are going to be proponents for the improvement that they. So nice to have you, Krishnakumar. I wish that you will come and join us. We meet every alternating Friday and Saturday. Would love to have you back.
Sure. Thank you.
Abhijit, would you want to share your feedback?
Yeah, thanks, Arathi. It was a great experience. Very wonderfully organized, and very structured flow into improving the public speaking skills. Actually, I'm seeing all the different segments like Grammarian or timekeeping, everything. First time I'm actually seeing. It's really wonderful, and really looking forward to join the team.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Rajeshwari, do you want to share your feedback?
Yeah, hi Arathi. Hi again, everyone. So it was a very nice experience, well structured, and also the speeches were really nice. And it was very encouraging and thought-provoking ones. So I would like to thank Arathi, you especially, for inspiring me in all ways possible, and also pushing me to come for this Toastmaster events as well.
Yeah.
And looking forward to joining soon. Yeah, I'll connect with you.
Yeah, that's the line that we want to hear. And Sruthy, keep nudging her. I think just one more push, she would be in. And I'll push her from the back. Pull and push. We can do that. All right.
And let me only bend, okay?
That's right. I can see Renji logged in. Are you available to speak now?
Yes, I'm here, and this is my first time interaction in Toastmasters, and I've been listening ever since the meeting started, and a little bit hesitant to talk in front of people. And I'm really what I should tell, excited seeing the energy and the spontaneity on the floor. But is it okay? I'll come forward.
Excellent. Thank you, Renji. What do you do, and how did you come to know of this meeting?
So I came to know about this meeting from one of the LinkedIn invite Arathi has posted, Arathi Gopalakrishnan has posted.
All right.
I work as an HR. I work for a company called Revenue Info Solutions in Technopark.
All right, great, great. Thank you for joining Technopark Toastmasters 37th meeting, and we wish that you will keep watching our updates and join back as much as possible.
Yes, of course. I'm looking forward to. Thank you for everyone. I'm really, excited seeing your, the way you present and articulation and everything.
Absolutely. And we all learned, we all made mistakes today. I'm sure some of them were visible, some of them were not visible. So I had my own glitches, but the beauty is that we learn to adjust and we make it very seamless, as if we have been practicing this for the last 1 month. But the effort that goes behind it.
Yes, so, but the courage I should appreciate.
Thank you so much. It's very nice to hear that, and it's definitely made our Saturday well spent. Thank you, team, for joining in. 1.5 hours well spent. There's a lot of learning for all of us, for each one of us, for me, for you, and for us collectively. I'm so happy that this meeting went well, and all kudos to TMOD and the team and the VP. Thank you, and let's meet again in a week's time.
Thank you all.
I declare this meeting
Thank you.
adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you all.